Hi everyone. In our earlier class we just discussed about the main things related to demographic study. What is the meaning, definition? What is the need of demography? What is the main um, importance of demography, and what are the main objectives of demography? Now we just discussed in our today's video related to what are the nature of demography, or what are the points which describe about the nature or features of demography study. So there are few points in nature or features of demography. First of all, if you're not subscribed, then subscribe the channel and like, share this video and click on the bell icon. So start with the topic, nature or features of demography. First one is related to statistical characteristics of population. So demographic study basically is statistical characteristics of population. Second one is positive science or scientific approach. So demographic study is positive science or scientific approach. That means positive science is based on some facts or figures. What should be there in a positive sense, and scientific approach based on some principles is called scientific approach. So demographic study also based on some principles and also based on some data and facts and figures which calculate that what should be the data and what should be in future. Then third one is analytical interpretation of population dynamics. Analytical interpretation of population dynamics. So demographic study basically provide an analytical interpretation or result of population dynamics to a country. Then fourth one is factual or universal. Factual or universal means demographic study it's based on some facts, and universal it's applicable to at universal level, or we can say that it applicable to every country in the world. Then fifth one is studies facts both qualitatively as well as quantitatively. And what we have to write in this? So first main topic, that is related to statistical characteristics of population. So under which we have to write down like occupation, population size, density of population, age structure, birth rate, mortality, sex ratio and income. Then second main topic, positive or scientific approach. So use of scientific methods for demographic analysis is called scientific approach. And third one, analytical interpretation of population dynamic. That means demographic study provide data related to analytical interpretation of population dynamics. Factual and universal, demographic study based on proper facts which is applicable at universal level. Then quantitatively as well as qualitatively means quantitative problems of population. The qualitative problems also form a part of population studies. So the study of demography includes the availability of physicians in the total population, number of hospitals, number of beds in hospital, expectations of life at birth, daily availability of minimum calories, resistance power, advertisement of family planning program and its development, the changes brought in the attitude of people regarding childbirth and adequate medical facilities. These all are related to particular qualitative measurement. So demographic study basically is related to qualitative data and quantitative data. Both quantitative as well as qualitative data do include in study of demography. Now the next topic is what is the basic need of demography. So first of all we have to understand what the question is asking from us. So if the question asks elaborate the need of demography, then first of all we have to write down the meaning of demography, then after that definition of demography, and then we have to provide the what kind of data we have to need for demographic study. So need of demographic study is basically divided into three main categories. Three main data is related. One is aging, means growing older and older. Second one is migration, and third one is birth rate. aging, migration, and third one is birth rate. So 3 basic data we have to need for defining the demographic study need in our country. So first one is need related to government sector. Need related to government sector means how demographic study provide helps to government in making some plans and policies for the upliftment of poor sections of society or for youth sections of society, etc. For example, you can quote here that Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is there, Antyodaya Yojana is there, and Gram Sadak Yojana is there, and also there is a scheme for youth sector like Skill India movement is there, and startup schemes are there. So these are the main schemes and policies which you can provide in your example. Second need is related to business and commerce. So for business and commerce, demographic study helps in providing a particular data related to customer preference market, or what kinds of products are there and which market a business or organization has to approach. It can only be possible with the help of demographic study data. Third one, need related to society and economy. So if a society wants to provide some basic services to their citizens, then they have to be aware about the demographic content in their society. What are the main size of population living in their society, what kind of people are living in their society, what kind of services they can provide to old age people, to young age people, to infants, and to school going children, etc. And if we talk about the economic section, so what can be done with the help of demographic data for the upliftment of an economy of a country. Like if a country has a data related to demographic content, then they can easily provide some they can easily make some budget and can sanction some amounts for the upliftment of every state or every city in a country. Need related to self or individual, how demographic study help me in growing myself. So if I have a demographic data in my hand, then I can make some plans regarding future projections of population and what kind of challenges can become in near futures, and how I can manage with them, how can I cope up with them. So it is called only with the help of demographic data only. So there are the 4 basic needs. You have to elaborate each needs in 2 to 3 lines in your answer. Now the topic comes related to what are the main principles of demography. So there are 3 basic principles of demography is there. One is balancing equation principle, most important principle of demography, that is balancing equation principle. First of all, we just have a clear concept in your mind that what is the balance. Balance means to make a 2 years gap at a balance level. And what is the equation? Equation always be there. If there is we have to deduct one amount from another, then it's called equation. And why what this balancing equation principle states? So equation is P2 minus P1, so that is size of a given population at time 2, that is P2, minus the size of the population at time 1, that is previous year population and current year population. So in other words, the absolute growth or decline in the size of the population between 2 specific points in time. Note that this number could be negative or positive also, indicating if there is a negative amount is coming, then it indicates population loss for a country. If it comes in positive category, then there is a population explosion in a country. So, and to know about the differences and taking corrective measures to balance, it is called balancing equation principle of demography. Now the second main principle, what is cohort progression? So first of all, we have to know about the meaning of cohort. Cohort basically it's a group of subjects or people who share a defining characteristics or same characteristics, typically like subjects or people who experience the common event in a selected time period, such as birth or graduation. So if for example I can make a group of my friends who done their graduation in a particular year, so this is the cohort group for me. And how this group grew up in the same region during a specific time period is known as cohort progression. For example, a group of 15 to 30 years people who joined college at the same day and how they grew up in the same particular time period is known as cohort progression. Now the third main principle, that is cohort disaggregation. Actually some of the students have many doubts regarding all these principles, so please students, please clear your doubts after watching this video, and please write down each line correctly in your notebook also. So separation of a cohort group into different categories is also known as cohort disaggregation. For example, if I divide my group of friends on the basis of standard of living, intellectual level, etc., then it's called cohort disaggregation principle of demography. So 3 basic principles should be clear in your mind now. Now the next topic, that is the most important topic regarding how demographic study or study of demography can be taken as an essential discipline of socio-economic change. So it's this type of question can become in your long answer question also. So the question asked about define the study of demography as an essential discipline of socio-economic change. So what you have to write in your answer, we just cover all these lines here. So first of all, we have to understand about the socio-economics meaning. What is the basic meaning of socio-economic? So it is the social standing or class of an individual or group. It is often measured as a combination of education, income and occupation. So basically it indicates the social standing or a class of an individual or group. It's called socio-economic status of a particular person in demographic study, which is based on the combination of education, income, occupation, etc. Now for example, there are main categories are employment, community safety, social support, education, etc., which can be significantly affect how well and how long we live with the help of these types of facilities. So there are 3 basic groups in which society lives, and those are, after that meaning we have to provide the basic categories of groups, socio-economic groups in which society lives. And what are those groups? One is cultural group. Cultural group that means based on some culture like Gujarati culture, Rajasthani culture, Maharashtrian culture, Assami culture, etc. Now economic group, second one is economic group. According to income level we decide the economic group. Then third one, social group, based on parent or guardian's occupation and employment status, social group will be formed. So 3 types of groups are there in socio-economic status. One is cultural, second one is economical, and third one is social group. Now let's understand about the meaning of socio-economic status and why it is important in demographic study. So the answer is to have access to more health knowledge, better housing and nutrition, and better health care. There are higher socio-economic status category and lower socio-economic status category, which is related to more environmental hazards either through housing, etc. So to have access to more health knowledge, if a particular group has a more knowledge about the health, better housing facilities, better nutritional facilities, better health care, then it is in the group of higher socio-economic status, and low socio-economic status category is related to more environmental hazards and through whether it can be through housing facilities, etc. So this is called low socio-economic status and higher socio-economic status. Now, what is the difference between social class and socio-economic class? Then what you have to write in your answer, that what is the basic difference between social class and economic class. So socio-economic status is basically typically defined by a combination of one's financial income and level of education and occupation, whereas there are some factors which affect socio-economic change in demography. Now we just have to discuss about these factors, that what kind of factors are there which affect social economic change in demography. Here is the main thing is come. So, and the factors are, first one is employment or occupation, second one is income, third one is education. So here all three factors are related to each other one by one. How they relate to each other? Let's see. If there is employment or occupation, then it can dictate income level of a person. So if a person is employed or occupied, then it can dictate in his or her income level. Second thing, if he or she has a income level, then income relate with education level. So with the help of income, one can be educated, and in the same way, education level also helps in getting employment or job. So if a person is educated, then he or she can able to get employment or job. So by which we can say that all these factors, employment, income, education level, and again employment, relate to each other one by one. So these are the main factors which affect social economic change in demographic study. Now the question arises, how does the demographic transition influence the economic change? How does the demographic transition influence the economic change? And the answer is, it has enabled economies to convert a larger proportion of the gains from factor accumulation, or we can say that collection or gatherance of technological progress, into growth of per capita income. So here the question asks about, how does the demographic transition influence the economic change? And we have to answer in a way that it has enabled economies to convert a larger portion of the gains from factor accumulation. Accumulation means what are the collection of technological progress into growth of per capita income. If in a country there is a technological progress, technological upgradation, then how this technological upgradation or progress can be help in growing of per capita income in a country. So if per capita income is increases due to technological upgradation, then in this way we can say that demographic transition can be affect socio-economic status, or demographic transition can be influence the economic change in a country. So it enhances better labor productivity and growth process via three main channels. Now, how technological upgradation or technological modification help? So it enhanced better labor productivity. Labor productivity will be better with the help of technological modification or upgradation, and the growth process via three basic channels. What are three channels are there? So three basic channels related to all education, employment, and income. So income, employment, and education are the three basic channels by which the labor productivity will increase. Now the question comes, how demographic study affects social change? How demographic affect social change? So in first one we just discussed how demographic study or demographic transition affect economic change. Now we have to discuss about the how demographic study affects social change. So answer is, if there is an increase in birth rate in a country which results in increase in the population of working age and which leads to social changes such as increase in unemployment in a country. So there are positive effects effect of demographic study, as well as there are negative effects of demographic study on social change. So if there is an increase in birth rate which results in increase in population of working age, but it also leads to social changes like unemployment increment. Unemployment increases due to increase in population, and the population, if there is a population increment in a country, then unemployment arises. Likewise, in the positive way, we can say that if there is a population increment in a country, then a large proportion of working age people are there, or large proportion of working age population is there. So this is the positive impact on social change of demographic transition in a country, and negative impact of demographic transition on social change is related to increase in unemployment. So finally, we can say that low socio-economic status affect individual health through a variety of mechanisms, and those are psychological factors. Psychological factors basically related to mental level factors of a person, how how he perceive, or how he perceive a particular product or particular conception, etc. Then second one is health behaviors. Health behaviors means whether a person is related to good health factor or bad health, etc. Then healthcare facilities. What kind of facility are there for the betterment of health sector, and in general, persons of higher socio-economic status are in good health category in comparison to lower socio-economic status people because of having more nutritional resources to safeguard against health threats. So finally, after the study of the factors affecting socio-economic change, three main factors we discussed, and after that we just discussed how demographic transitions affect economic changes, how demographic transition affects social changes, and how socio-economic status affects individual health with the help of three basic main factors: psychological, health, behaviors, health care. And so in general, higher socio-economic status people are in good health category, and lower socio-economic status people are in bad health category, or we can say that they have lack of nutritional facilities, lack of income to take the safety measures against any disease, etc. So this is all about the main thing when the question asks about how demographic study or demographic data, how demographic study or demographic data or transition affect the social economic change in a country. Then you have to first provide meaning of socioeconomic status. Then after that you have to provide the basic factors, basic things which comprises in socioeconomic status. And after that we have to link with each other, and how demographic transition affects social change, how demographic transition affects economic change, we have to elaborate separately. So this is all about the first main unit, and I hope now every student has a clear concept in your mind about the concept of demography. So just write down each topic clearly and very neat and clean handwriting in your fair notebook. Each topics you have to elaborate in 2 to 3 lines with the help of some example. You have to quote a particular example in your each point, and after that you have to write as per the I guided you in my video. So please view this video and also put your comments related to this video, and for more upcoming video just subscribe the channel or click on the bell icon. Thank you.